The Private Sector Advisory Council for Jobs is recommending to the President to maintain the 70-30 hybrid work setup. Council lead Joey Concepcion admits that he is in favor of allowing 100% of workers to report on-site to help the economy. But Concepcion says there are certain exceptions to those who need to work from home. Okta Research Fellow Ranjit Rai expressed his support for the proposal.
I think it's the trend. It is the reality. Of course, there are industries like those of Sir Joey, where there's lots of manufacturing and there's a need for factory workers to go to the site. Improvement in productivity. All of these are going to be affected by how industry calibrates towards this new work arrangements.
To share his thoughts on the hybrid work setup recommendation, we have with us on the line Sergio Ortiz-Luis Jr, President of the Employers Confederation of the Philippines. Good evening. Welcome to the Big Story, sir.
Good evening to you and your listeners and watchers.
Sir, first of all, as Professor Rai said, this is at the very least a trend. People are trying to find that balance. What are your thoughts on this, and where should this actually be policy, or do we leave it to the private sector to just find that balance on their own?
Well, to begin with, unlike the face shield, the face mask is not really a problem, no? Even in the place of work. It does not, so a lot of people even got used to it already. And I think the relaxation is okay with certain prohibition, like cannot be indoors, cannot be for those who have been immunocompromised, or for all people. The problem is how do you implement this? By giving an order that you allow it to certain places, for certain people, you have to be able to communicate well. And then the coordination between the LGUs, which probably will implement it differently from each other, will be difficult. Even our policemen who are going to implement it probably will end up not wearing any mask while in the streets. And people, before, if you go out and you forget your mask, you go back or you try to get another mask. Now, if you go out, forget it, most probably, it's okay. A lot of people are wearing it anyway. So at the end of the day, it will be interpreted by everybody in accordance with their convenience. And most probably, even in closed spaces, if they will not be able to, IATF is not able to put up some regulations for the owners of establishment, everybody will end up not wearing masks there also. So I guess having a relaxation like that, you have to be able to communicate well and coordinate well and implement well. Otherwise, we'll end up with all sorts of problems.
All right. Well, what about, of course, face masks? One thing that we have gotten used to during the last 2 years under a pandemic. The other thing is working from home. In fact, a lot of people are not wanting to go back to the workplace and now are being encouraged to go back and fulfill a 70%, 30% work and office kind of hybrid setup, Robbie. Sir Sergio, do you agree with this balance of 70%, 30% hybrid work setup? And in your opinion, in the last, at least when people started going back to work, do you think this has at all impacted our productivity as a nation?
Well, definitely, it's common sense that working from home is different from working in your office or in your place of work, no? Of course, a lot of people will argue, well, we are able to do what we have to do, but the reality is it depends on the employer. If the employer feels that that's an arrangement that is okay, there should be no mandatory thing about it. They have to decide on a corporate basis what they would like to do with it. Not many companies can do work from home because of manufacturing, construction. So these are basically office workers that we're talking about, so the company has to decide. It's not the decision of the employee to be able to do that, because at the end of the day, it's the company that is responsible for productivity.
All right, so discretion still rests with the employers. Thank you so much. Employees Confederation of the Philippines President Sergio Ortiz-Luis Jr. on the phone. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.